Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. As you can see here, I've got up my AFL Fantasy Team because I'm going to be going over my first AFL Fantasy Team for the year. This is something I've never actually done before, so if you could leave any tips and any helpful advice in the comments, if you have done this before, then be sure to do that. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into my team. Starting off with the defenders, I've got Ben Long, James Sicily, Mitch McGovern, Tom McCartan, Harrison Petty, Campbell Chesser, and Buku Karmas Nick Murray on the bench. James Sicily, he's a lock. He had a fantastic year last year in general and with AFL Fantasy. Ben Long, I think, should go alright. Mitch McGovern, from all reports, is ready to go. He's ready to have a brilliant 2023 season. He's had a great pre-season, so I think he should be a very handy player for both the Carlton Blues and my fantasy team. Tom McCartan, Harrison Petty, and Campbell Chesser are all pretty cheap options, particularly Chesser, who is the cheapest possible option. Obviously, he hasn't played a game yet in his career, was injured for the whole of last year, so hopefully he gets out on the track and can produce some high quality footy. Moving on to the midfield now, we've got Josh Dunkley, Will Ashcroft, Jai Culley, Jason Horne-Francis, Nick Martin, Marcus Bontempelli, Tom Green, Zach Bailey, with Marcus Winhager and Liam Henry on the bench. So Dunkley is my captain. I think Dunkley is one of the most popular players to select in this year's fantasy team. He won a best and fairest at the Western Bulldogs, and by all reports looks even better this year. There was that one photo of him working out at the gym where he just looked absolutely shredded. So yeah, he just looks like he's going to have an even better year than last year, which is pretty hard to do. Will Ashcroft, the most hyped draft pick, obviously a pretty cheap option because he's a draft pick, and I think he's the most popular option in the midfield for AFL Fantasy. Then we've got Jai Culley. I think he should have a great year. Jason Horne-Francis, same thing. I think moving to a new club should set him up for some success. Nick Martin had a great year last year in his first season. Hopefully he goes on to continue that. Marcus Bontempelli as my vice captain. Look, I think that Bontempelli, he is set for some very big things this year. He had a pretty good season last year by most people's standards. Maybe not by his own very lofty standards, but still. Tom Green, he's going to be the main GWS midfielder, so with Hopper and Taranto leaving, hopefully he can get more disposals, more touches, and more fantasy points. Zach Bailey, I think, is going to be another very handy player. Moving on to the rucks, I've got Brodie Grundy, Luke Jackson, and Bailey Williams on the bench. Grundy, hopefully he gets through the year injury-free, because if so, he's going to be one of the best rucks in the comp. I went him over Gawn because he's cheaper than Gawn. Luke Jackson, well, hopefully he can produce some pretty big scores because he's going to be like that utility Mark Blitzarves type role. He's probably not going to just play exclusively in the ruck. He's going to play midfield and forward time as well. So hopefully that helps him out get a few more points. And then now we've got the forwards: Todd Marshall, Maurice Rioli, Jack Gunston, Archie Perkins, Ben King, Darcy Fogarty, Jai Miss, and Oscar Allen, the two on the bench. Todd Marshall, I'm expecting very big things in 2023. I think he's a contender for the Coleman Medal. Maurice Rioli, I think he's at a good price, a pretty good price. I think he can go alright this year. Jack Gunston, well, at least for the first half of the year, I think he's going to be matching up on the third best key defender each week, which that's hopefully that means he can feast on a few goals, which, yeah, I think Gunston's going to be very good next season, not having all the pressure on him. Archie Perkins had a great last couple of years. Ben King, I was a bit I didn't really know whether to put him in the team because I don't think he's going to be that good in the first half of the year, but he's pretty cheap, so I decided to put him in. And Darcy Fogarty, I think he's going to have an absolutely spectacular year this year. Played brilliantly in the second half of 2022, and I think he's going to be even better. And then finally, my utility player, I've got Toby McLean, a player who hasn't played a lot of footy in the last couple of years. In fact, I don't think he's played any footy in the last couple of years, but I've got him in the team. He's at $401,000, so yeah, that wraps up my team. Let me know what you think of it. If you're doing AFL Fantasy, maybe share your team. If you're someone who's experienced with this and has any tips for me, then be sure to let me know what you think, what I can change, and I hope you did enjoy the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.